What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So check it out. The stock market, yet again, like it has been, was very choppy today. We had the NASDAQ go down a lot. The S&P went down a little bit. The Dow went up a lot. We had the Russell up a decent amount. And we had volatility down. The VIX went down about 4.9%. Gold and silver, those were all over the place. So we got a lot to break down in this video. We have to break down earnings, Tesla, Procter Gamble, some airlines. We also have to go over what I'm doing in the markets. And of course, some charts in general that I'm keeping my eyes on. But before we do that, make sure to get your free money from Moomoo, up to 6 free stocks, each of which could be valued all the way up to $3,500. It's by far the best promo right now. Just use that link down below or go to stasurfest.com/Moomoo. Deposit at least $100 and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So check it out, guys. The NASDAQ 100, like I said, did not do well at all today because of Netflix. Netflix ended up closing down about 35% on the day, which is just mind-boggling. You know, I just looked at it about 30 minutes ago, and I just thought to myself, geez, guys, Netflix really just fell 35% today. I'm still trying to process it, but the NASDAQ did not do well. It went down about 1.5% today. We had the S&P pretty much break even, but it closed more on the red side. And we had the Russell up 0.4%. Dow went up 0.7%. Like I said, the VIX went down 5%. And we had silver and gold pretty much break even on the day. Actually, I think they were down earlier. Maybe that was yesterday. But either way, it was a mixed bag today overall. And I would say, I think, in my personal opinion, the bulls won the day, even though SPY went down 33 cents on the day. And let me show you guys why. So if you notice here on the 5-day chart, what we're seeing is yesterday's high was right around, where was that? 446. You guys can see it right there. And today's high was hit in the pre-market right before the opening bell. We hit about 447.50. So the fact that we broke out of yesterday's highs, we did that in the pre-market today, that is a very bullish sign. And the fact that also throughout the entire day today, I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but we held above 444.50 for the most part, which was the high point from midday yesterday. If you guys take a look here at about noon yesterday on Tuesday, we held, or rather we got rejected at about 444.50. So we held that all day today. We ended up closing on a V-shaped recovery. We bounced into close. Now we're up after market hours as well. So in my opinion, this looks like on the 5-day, 5-minute at least, SPY's maintaining the uptrend. It's continuing the uptrend. And if we break out, let's say tomorrow or Friday, we break out of the highs from today pre-market right around 447.57, or was that at market or after the bell? Actually, that was after the bell. It was not pre-market. 447.57, the highs from today, they were hit right around 9:31, so pretty much right after the opening bell. So if we take those highs out tomorrow, maybe Friday, that is going to be very good for the bulls. And ultimately, the bulls need to break out of, I'm going to say 450 in general, and that is where we could be getting a legitimate reversal, relief rally, an extended relief rally. So that is what I'm looking at. And just look at this 20-day chart, guys. We are breaking out golden cross. This looks very good for now. And let's see what Triple Q is doing, which you guys should know tracks the NASDAQ 100. This is in a little bit of a different predicament, right? Unlike SPY, Triple Q is under both moving averages, right? Take a look here on the 20-day chart, and I'm talking on the 20-day chart. It is barely under both moving averages. But one thing worth mentioning is if I clear the drawing set, even though we're under both moving averages, we're actually still holding a higher low compared to yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is 337 roughly. Today's low is roughly 340. So that's a good sign. Now, all we got to do is break out of 345 and then start making a move towards today's pre-market highs, which were right around 348, which if you guys take a look, 348, and I called out that resistance many times, which is why you guys got to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. 348 was resistance last week as well. So I'm not surprised that we got hit there. And one thing worth mentioning, just like SPY, Triple Q took out yesterday's highs. Look at this. Yesterday's highs were 346.75 roughly. Today we hit over 348. So Triple Q is looking pretty decent on this 5-day. Same with SPY, and we'll see what happens over these next couple of days. And I have a feeling, guys, quite frankly, that tomorrow, Friday, we're not going to see any huge, well, I don't want to say that, but let's just say this. The real test is going to be next week when we have big tech. You know, I feel like this is almost like the calm before the storm in a sense, because next week, to end off April, we have what? I think we have Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook. All of these big names are reporting next week. I have to double check, but I know a lot of them are. And that's going to be big time. I mean, we saw what happened with Netflix today. If we get a similar drop from Facebook, Meta Platforms, or some other names such as Snapchat, you know, it's going to be interesting. I doubt Apple or Amazon or, you know, what's the other one? Google. I doubt they go down 30%. I'd be completely shocked. I doubt it, though. But Netflix, it did. And who knows? Maybe some other ones like Snap, those go down and thus bring down the other big tech names. Maybe, you know, Apple just a little bit, you know, Amazon, Google, and so forth, Microsoft. So it's going to be interesting. You know, needless to say, watch out for next week. It's going to be a big, you know, and the end of this week. It's going to be a big couple of days here in the market. So what do you guys think? Drop me a comment. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 25,000 subscribers, guys. And that's a big milestone. So subscribe. And now let's talk about some stocks. So if you all didn't know, or maybe you did know, we're going to talk about Tesla because they reported earnings in the aftermarket hours today. And the stock is actually moving up, which is why I think SPY is moving up a little bit. Triple Q's up a little bit here after the bell. So let's pop up Tesla and see what is going on. First and foremost, Tesla went down 5% on the day. It closed under 1,000 a share, right around 977. And now, after market hours, it's up about $40 to $45, back over 1,000 a share, and now back over the 50 moving average, which is a very good sign, technically speaking. So let's talk about these numbers. Let's go over what they ended up doing. And if you guys take a look here on the intraday, Tesla hit 1046, and now it's down about $25 from that aftermarket high. So Tesla did $3.22 in EPS versus $2.27 estimated. They completely crushed the EPS there, and they crushed revenue. They did $18.76 billion versus $17.76 billion. So nice double beat from Tesla. Automotive revenue came in at $16.86 billion for the quarter. Automotive gross margin right around 33%. And they did Q1 total deliveries roughly at, 310,000, up about 68% year over year. And Q1 free cash flow right around $2.23 billion. And of course, like a lot of companies right now, Tesla, they're going through some troubles with chip shortages, recent COVID outbreaks in China. That's a problem. And these outbreaks have been weighing on supply chain and factory operations. So in the very short term, Tesla, I don't want to say struggling, but they're going through some problems, which we kind of already knew. And the stock, I mean, it's not surprised by that at all. But that's just the reality of right now, what they're going through. But overall, the numbers were great. They had a double beat. The deliveries are up 60-70% year over year. Free cash flow is looking good. And I wonder how many quarters now in a row have they had profitability. That's important. I don't know. If you guys know the answer to that, let me know in the comments down below. But it seems like they are now consistently profitable. And like I mentioned about 2 minutes ago, Tesla's up after hours now, and it's moving back over the 50 moving average, which we haven't been above that since the 6th of April, which was about, I guess, exactly 2 weeks ago. So we got to see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully this sparks a green day tomorrow. That'd be awesome if we had a big green day, maybe another 1.52% green day. I don't know. I mean, you can't predict those all the time, obviously, but I'm just saying that'd be nice if Tesla ran up to, let's say, 1050 tomorrow, or maybe even higher. But the reality is we might easily lose this gain tomorrow and the markets could go down. I mean, nobody really knows. So we got to play it by ear and see what happens in the morning, what the futures are looking like. And we probably have some big companies reporting tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about those tomorrow. So I'm going to set my alert. I have one at 1080, but I might as well put another one here at 1050, which is right above where we hit here post-market or after market hours. So I'm going to do one is mark is at or above 1050. There we go. We also had what is the next one here? Procter Gamble, guys, which, not to toot my own horn, but did we not call this out? Did we not call this out? Probably a week ago at this point, maybe over a week ago. We called out this inverse head and shoulders on Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG. We had the left shoulder here, head, right shoulder, and I think we called it out right around 155, 157 roughly, as it was breaking out of the moving averages. We got that golden cross. So Procter & Gamble today went up 2.7%, very good day. It seems like it has completed the inverse head and shoulders. Now the $1 million question is, are we going to get buying pressure to push through 165? 165 was resistance not only in the beginning of February, but also the end of December and all of January. So 165 needs to break for Procter & Gamble, and if it does, in the very short term, who knows? We might be going all-time highs at that point. I guess we will be going all-time highs. 170, 175. We're going to be in uncharted territory at that point. So Procter & Gamble, the chart still looks pretty good, even though it's a little overbought, I'll be honest, and we might see a bit of a sell-off in the short term. Eventually, if we break 165, just know there's going to be a push from that point, in my opinion. So they ended up doing EPS of $1.33 versus $1.30 estimated. So they beat EPS. Revenue also beat $19.4 billion versus $18.73 billion estimated. And the beautiful thing is, guys, which I always say, investors, traders, the markets love it. They love it, love it, love it when companies raise guidance. Procter & Gamble raised 2022 sales growth guidance from 3 to 4% to 4 to 5%. And you may be laughing, Stas, that is not much. But for Procter & Gamble, it is. It is. Guys, Procter & Gamble is not a Tesla where they're growing 100%, 80%, 70% year over year. They're not growing like that. But if they get a raise from 3 to 4%, from that was the initial guidance. Now it's 4 to 5%. That matters. I think that's pretty solid. So the stock is running. So I'm going to set my alert at 165.50. If that point breaks, which would be an all-time high, we might get a push to 170 plus. That is what I'm thinking here in the very short term. So I'm going to put an alert one at 165.50, and we'll watch it from here. We also had United Airlines report. Let's see how they're doing right now. Ticker symbol UAL. They did negative $4.24 EPS versus negative $4.21. So they slightly missed on the EPS estimate, and they did revenue of $7.57 billion versus $7.68 billion estimated. So that's a double miss for UAL, but overall, they said, and this is what they're saying right now, who knows what's going to happen, but they see returning to profitability in Q2 of 2022, which is the quarter that we're in right now, right? And they have Q1 adjusted losses narrowing, upbeat outlook. So at this point, I don't think UAL and the airlines in general necessarily care about what happened in the prior quarter, right? And in this case, UAL literally had a double miss, right? They're looking at what's coming in the summer and these upcoming quarters where people haven't traveled in a year or two. People are just dying to go out, and it's summertime to travel, and we're already seeing, airlines doing very well. I think they lifted the mask mandate or something like that. I haven't been looking at the news too much, but that's what I've been seeing. So, this is, it's going to spur more traveling, and I believe that is what's being priced in right now. UAL doesn't care that they just had a double miss. They're looking at the future, and the price of the stock really just backs up what I'm saying here, because we are up, look at this, 8% after market hours. So UAL is ripping, and let's see, what are we doing in terms of resistances coming up? We're at a resistance right now. So if this breaks out of $51, which was the high point from the middle of February, right? Mid-50s is right around the corner. 54.50 is where the next gap would be, the next resistance from. When was that? That was in the beginning of November. So UAL, guys, these airlines, they're slowly starting to gain steam. And I'm assuming AAL, which I don't think they reported yet, they did not, but AAL is moving up with UAL. Look at that. They closed at 19.50 and now they're trading in the mid-20s after market hours, completely breaking out of this 19.50 resistance, and now AAL is trading at a multi-month high. So what did I say, guys? What did I say? Did I not call this one out about a week ago? I mean, I told you if this breaks $21, it is going to explode, and now we're starting to get that explosion. And I think if they report great numbers, and let me see, AAL reports on the 21st, tomorrow. When is that? Pre-market? Yeah, tomorrow pre-market. Watch this one. If they report good numbers, guys, it might continue running. Who the heck knows? So that's AAL, UAL. Also keep your eyes on Jets, which is an ETF, an airline ETF. A bunch of these stocks are in this, right? If you didn't know what an ETF is, guys, I'm sure most of you do, but if you don't, it's just a basket of stocks. So let's say there's an airlines ETF. It's a basket of, let's say, American Airlines, Southwest, United, maybe Spirit, whatever, Frontier, stuff like that, right? So that is what Jets is, and this is moving up aggressively in the aftermarket as well. It's up about almost $1, and let's see, for a $23 stock, that's a pretty decent move, probably about 5%, a little bit less than 5%, almost 4% move here after hours for Jets. So this is going to be one worth watching, I think, if it breaks out of $23.75, $24, which has been resistance since the beginning of February. So for now, I'm going to be watching it, and I'm going to put an alert at $23.75. If that point breaks, I honestly think it could start moving $25, maybe even higher. So keep your eyes on Jets if you kind of want to make a bet overall in the airline industry. That's kind of what I do, guys, right? I'm not one of these people that sure, I pick individual stocks. I like doing that, but if I'm not too sure about which airline's going to win or be the best airline, or I don't want to do the research and figure it out, or I don't have time to do it, what you can just do is buy an ETF, right? Buy Jets, which tracks all of them, and sure, your returns might not be that great or not as good as they could be if you pick the winning individual stock, but owning an ETF gives you more diversification, and it's a little bit more, or rather less volatile, right? Because you're spread out within different airlines. But let's say the whole airline industry gets screwed, and you're in an airline ETF, you're screwed regardless. And you saw what happened with during COVID with the airlines. But let's not get into that in this video. Overall, if you want a spread across a bunch of companies, buy an ETF like Jets. So let's talk about two more stocks before I wrap this video up. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't done so already, guys. So the one here is Enphase, the last one of two, is Enphase, ticker symbol ENPH. This stock today, you heard this right, guys, today went down 9%. Not a good day whatsoever, down $17, and now it's pretty oversold considering it was sitting at $220 just 2 weeks ago, and now it's under $180. It is down about 20% in 2 weeks, or about $41 a share. And what I'm noticing here is it's under the 50 SMA, but above the 180 SMA, which is good that it's holding the 180 SMA, and we're also maintaining the uptrending channel. Look, right here where we are, 170, 175, and with earnings coming up, and let's speculate earnings are good in about 6 days from now, in 6 days, so when is that? Next Tuesday they report or something like that, right? If earnings are solid, this stock could rip. I mean, we've seen what it's done during earnings season. I mean, you guys have seen this, right? Last time they reported, the stock shot up 20, 30% in a day or two. The time before that, it shot up 30, 35%. So this could be a potential perfect scenario. We're selling down 20% heading into earnings. If the earnings are great, it might rip and bounce back 20%. Very possible. So watch out for Enphase. And the last one for today, guys, is Laboratory Corp. LH is the ticker. This is one that's pretty beaten down overall. It's down about 12% over the past couple of months. Not down as much as some other stocks, but still, it's in correction territory. And today, take a look, guys, it went up 2.5%. It broke out of both moving averages, and we ended up closing above the wedge on the 4-hour chart here. And I'm going to set my alert at about 280. If you guys take a look, 280 has been resistance for about a month. So let's do that now. Mark is at or above 280, and you guys can see that, yeah, pretty much since the middle of March, we haven't broken out of there. So if we break out at 280, I'm thinking towards 290, 300 is where this could end up going. So that's pretty much it. Hope you all found value and got some insight on Tesla, Procter Gamble, these airlines that we're looking at, and the overall markets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, and join my Patreon if you want all my buy, sells, call outs. Everything I'm doing in real time is on Patreon, link down below. And don't forget to get your free money up to 6 free stocks, each of which could be valued all the way up to $3,500. Just use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Mumu. Deposit at least $100 and boom, you get your free money, guys. And with that being said, I guess it's time to wrap the video up. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out.